This is a tale from a faraway land, from a time long ago, in a quiet meadow tucked between silver-tipped mountains and whispering woods. The wind carried secrets and the flowers sang in colors no one else could see. It was here that Liora lived. She was a meadow fairy with hair like moonlight and wings that shimmered like dew. Her days were spent chasing butterflies and mending blossoms, guiding lost bees back home, playing hide-and-seek with the field mice and whispering stories to the trees. One morning, as sunlight spilled over the grasses, Liora saw something new. Beneath a patch of clover lay a butterfly, still as death, its wings torn and tattered. One trailed like a piece of old lace. Gently, she knelt beside it, her tiny fingers brushing its wing. "You poor thing," she whispered. "What happened to you?" Of course it didn't answer, for how could a butterfly speak? But something in its trembling antennae and dimmed colors made Liora understand. They had flown through a storm and lost its way. With a sigh, Liora rose and gathered drops of honey and dewdrops, mixed with petals, blending them into a healing balm. She sat back down and began to mend the torn wing, stitching it together with magic spun from kindness and thread woven from spider silk. Every so often, she hummed a little tune, and the wind rustled the grasses, bringing more blossoms to use as for 2 days. Liora worked at first. The butterfly shivered, its body racked with coughs. But then it grew stronger, its colors returned, blues deeper than the sky and golds as soft as candlelight. And when it could fly again, it stayed. All day, they danced on the breeze, sipping nectar from the same blooms and curling into crocus petals. When the sun dipped low, Liora spoke to the flowers, and the butterfly painted the air around her like a living ribbon. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The leaves turned golden, then fell. The butterfly's flights grew slower. His shimmer faded still. Every day he brought Liora new blossoms to weave into her hair, and every night they watched the fireflies light up the meadow. Through it all, their friendship deepened, bound together by a shared love for the meadow and all its creatures. And then one cool evening, under a blanket of stars, the butterfly landed on Liora's shoulder and stayed very still. Liora knew tears gathered at the corners of her eyes, but she didn't let them fall. Instead, she held him close and whispered, "You've given me the loveliest dance." The stars heard her. A soft wind stirred the meadow, the moon leaned closer, and the fireflies blinked in sympathy. Then, very gently, Liora lifted her hands and gave her magic away. Light poured from her fingers like 1,000 fireflies. It wrapped around the butterfly, lifting him into the sky. Higher and higher he went, until his wings shimmered brighter than ever before. They weren't made of silk or stained glass, but of starlight. It shone with an otherworldly glow, translucent and bright. He rose above the meadow, the mountains, and the whispering wood, until he joined the stars themselves, becoming one. A tiny radiant spark in the shape of wings, forever watching over the meadow. Liora, now quiet and earthbound, no longer flew, but the flowers bloomed wherever she walked, and the wind always carried laughter through the grass. If you ever stand very still on a summer's night, when the stars first blink awake, you might see a glimmer dart across the sky. Some say it's just a shooting star, but Liora knows better.